folks, things are going on in the world of YouTube, like this. Renetto's learned how to fly, and I'm not just meaning like flyings, I mean flyings. Like, I will show you an example. Flying elevators. You just make sure that when you come onto the YouTube's websites and use a comments to seize me, you've got to be prepared for something just sprung out of the ordinary, something that makes you go, yeah, something which I, as folks, am going to be putting down, and now I'm going to do it now. Thank you.
Hey, this is Paul something here. Yes, okay, speaking of on behalf of YouTube, I've noticed something which is going to annoy a lot of people. Okay, let me just bring it up for the reason of wondering what will happen. The computer systems, okay, we all know we get graded in schools, we get graded during our tests, okay, it's not exactly covered up. Well, I have a theory of a quest of some little part of a thing I want to do for a scientific experiment which is held somewhere in a secret lab. What I want to do, right, is, okay, let me just bring this part up. Did people really fail their exams? Or is there a chance the computers couldn't work out the letters? Okay, I know a lot of people who can do the letter P, for an example, okay? That's just a line with a C, right? But I also know a lot of people who don't do that. Basically what these people do is something like this. Well, this. It's almost like a backwards J, but it's still a P to them. Well, what happens when that gets put through the computer system? Is that counted as a P? Is that a mistaken word? Does that mean that every word that you put down with your weird handwriting could suddenly mean, oh wait a minute, I might have actually got that right, but the computer couldn't see it as being right because it processed the P as a J or a Q and failed me that exam through one word of getting one question wrong, which put me in a worse level school. So what we really need to think about is words, when you write them, can be put down in different fonts, and we know they're different fonts, but can a computer process our fonts? I mean, if you're dyslexic or ambrosic, whatever you want to call it, if you can't draw with 5 hands, what are you going to do? So what my basic I don't really have a point for doing this, but I just want to know if anyone out there wants to post a million video responses to this about the way they draw letters, and if they're drawn in a way which is similar but not perfect to an original P or a Q or an R or any of the 26 letters in the alphabet. If you draw an A kind of like a zebra, or you draw an F kind of like a zebra, I want to know how many people there is in the world that do this with their words, that toy around with them and end up automatically doing it in a screwed up way. And then, if you're ever going to write down your signature, I mean, I've seen signatures, I can't say signatures, they're like husband, they're all joined together and looked right. How can a computer know what that means? Because it has to have our mind, and that doesn't work. So anyone out there who failed their exam in school and believed that it was unfair, I want just a zillion video responses added onto this. I mean, it's true, isn't it?
Folks, don't go listening to him. What he's really meaning to say is that people have problems with things that they have not ever thought about before. Things like new pets hates, his own pets hates. He wants to put them on you, and it's not good. And what you really need to think about when you're doing this is no. So if you go around writing a P kind of like a K, man, that's just dyslexia. Don't worry, you know what to say. Dyslexia is really hard to say, and lisp has an S in it, and innuendos and innuendos. So thank you.